Nityanandam, thank you so much for tuning in. In this video today, I just wanted to do a quick sharing on why I feel, in my personal experience, that the Inner Awakening program is the most cost-effective solution for your inner transformation. It's the most cost-effective solution for you if you're someone that is struggling with any kind of addiction, whether it's alcohol addiction, trying to get off cigarettes. If you're someone that suffers with anxiety or depression or low moods, or if you're someone that knows that you have certain pain points in you, there's certain things that you have tendencies towards certain behaviors that you're not happy with, and you know it's in your bucket list of things to do, you know it's in your bucket list of things that you want to address, but you're not really sure when or how, and you're kind of putting it off. It might be something as simple as, you have some comparison pattern in you. You know that you get jealous easily, and you know that it's something that it bothers you. It affects your relationships, and you have to deal with it. You want to deal with it, but you keep kind of brushing it off. You keep pushing it aside. So for those that might not be aware of what Inner Awakening is, it's a 21-day, actually now has just become a 23-day spiritual retreat. It's a program that is hosted by my beloved guru, His Holiness Paramahamsa Nityananda. And it's a program that is designed for your, obviously the name Inner Awakening. It's designed for your inner transformation. It's designed for you to get to the root of any negativity that you harbor in you, any negativity that you have in your life, any powerlessness that is affecting you. It's a retreat which is specifically designed to get to the root of where all of these things come from, addressing them, and healing you ultimately. It's a healing program, which restores your space of powerfulness, which restores your space of living the best possible life that you can in this moment, every moment. So I just want to share a bit of my personal experience of what actually led me to this Inner Awakening program. So I, from a young age, suffered from depression. I always felt as a child that I was kind of shy. I didn't really know how to fit in, or I felt like I didn't know how to fit in with people. I didn't know how to talk to people. I was in an environment where I would naturally fall depressed very easily. So from I think the time I got into high school, I started developing what psychologists and doctors will term suicidal ideation. So it's when you suffer from depression, it's virtually harboring and nurturing suicidal thoughts. So this started from, let's say, the age of maybe 13, 14, and I've carried this with me throughout my life. It got to a peak point just before I found Swamiji, where I went through a bad breakup, and it left me in a space where it's just a really bad space where I started thinking about killing myself. But for the first time ever, I started contemplating doing it for real. So meaning that I was planning on ending my life, and that it had never gotten that acute. It had never gotten to that extent before where I was actually planning. I was always thinking about it, but I never really thought that I would ever execute it. Somehow I would always find my way back into some feeling of normality, or I don't know, some neutral space again. But I wasn't getting out of this depression. It was just getting worse and worse every day. So I ended up seeing a doctor, and that doctor prescribed me antidepressant anxiety medication, and also suggested that I see a psychologist. So, funnily enough, when I started seeing a psychologist, he told me that I had so many problems that he probably wasn't going to be able to help me. I think I was seeing him once every fortnight, something like that. That he maybe wasn't going to be able to help me, that I would need to see a psychiatrist. And that psychiatrist, it was, number one, it's expensive. Number two, he was saying daily sessions, or maybe every few days I would need sessions with this psychiatrist. So I'm from Australia. These medication, seeing a psychiatrist, it's a lot of money that you're forking out for these kinds of things. And to be honest, I never felt that after these sessions and I started seeing this psychologist. After these sessions, I never felt any different. I never felt like all we were doing is we were kind of bringing up a lot of things from the past. And he was happily making notes and taking notes and umming and ahhing and, nodding and not really saying much. So I would leave these sessions not really feeling like I had done anything except verbalize things that were there that I had gone through in my past. There was no real feeling of I'm moving towards anything, even after a few sessions. And what I started feeling with this medication was it started emotionally blunting me. So I had read about it online, and it's something that I really sincerely avoided taking any medication for, was because of this thing with emotional blunting. I started feeling like just a zombie, like Walking Dead almost, and that again started to scare me. And anyhow, by this point in time, I had found Swamiji on YouTube, and I had started following his teachings, and thankfully, I was connected to his devotees in Australia. And they started sharing more and more of Swamiji's teachings with me. And one of the most helpful teachings, one of the most helpful things that ever crossed my path from what Swamiji is sharing with the world is this science of completion. So basically, it comes from ancient Hindu scriptures. It's a technique given by Sadashiva to his consort Devi. And it's a technique which is a direct path, a direct technique to enlightenment itself. And it's also tremendously healing. So basically, what you do is you look at any events in your life that have left you powerless. You get to the root of this powerless cognition. I won't go too much into what completion is, because this again will take me a long time. I would really sincerely, I'll leave some links for you. You can have a look more into what completion is. Swamiji has a wealth of YouTube videos about it. But basically it's a way of restoring your space of powerfulness where you were powerless. And I tell you, just from going through this one technique sincerely on just one portion of my life, one event in my life that left me powerless, I experienced so much healing. I experienced such a deep understanding of, wow, okay, it's not necessarily the events that are happening outside of me that are affecting me. Yes, it's left an impact on me, but I don't have to be powerless about it. So it's the first time I ever tasted any feeling of powerfulness from any kind of a self-help, from any kind of a technique or any kind of a teaching which was promising something like this, which was promising healing, which was promising, okay, you'll get out of your problems. So I ended up deciding that, okay, no, I have to go. And there's so many things that have happened in my life. There are so many events that need to be addressed, let me sincerely go in and address all of these things. So this is just one portion of what happens at Inner Awakening, is a lot of this introspective work. So for 21 days, you'll be doing a lot of these exercises. You'll be doing a lot of these exercises and processes which restore your space of powerfulness. So, and it really sincerely gets to the root of any kind of a problem that you might be suffering with, whether it's addiction, whether it's depression, whether it's a feeling of low confidence. You want to establish your confidence. You want to strengthen your relationships. Many times we feel like, yes, we want to do this. And many times, I know, I was one of these people that had self-help books. I would purchase them on a weekend where I felt like, no, I've had enough. I need to transform. I need to do something about my life. I can't live like this anymore. And I would read a few pages when I felt that I had time. And then it would, again, sit by my bed, or it would sit on my coffee table. And again, you know, I would get sucked into the flow of life, of work, of friends, of, you know, other things. So it was never really a priority, but it is a priority, right? If we're suffering with any kind of anxiety, if we're suffering with anything at all, if we know that we are not living the most joyful, happy life that we can, looking at these issues bit by bit, it will help, but not to the extent of fully immersing yourself into it. And it's like Swamiji said once that it's like acid washing. It's like acid washing yourself from the inside out. So by attending Inner Awakening, it's just 21 days. You're compacting 10 years worth, or perhaps 15 years worth of reading books and doing these self-help exercises, seeing psychologists, which I don't know, I don't know how much that actually even helps us. In this 21 days, you fully transform more than you can ever imagine, more than you can ever expect. I was someone that would never be able to sit in front of a camera like this and openly speak to people. I was too shy. My self-esteem was so low that I would never feel that anything I have to say has or holds any value. So if you're someone that knows, yes, okay, I'm sick of living the way I have been, there's so many things that I need to address inside of me, there's so many things that, you know, I'm still carrying the pain of death of a loved one and I don't know how to heal it, or I'm sick of smoking cigarettes, it makes me feel crap, or pardon my French, or I need to lose weight and dieting is just not working. All of these issues can be, and they will be addressed by coming to this program. All I can do is invite you all to take the jump in. You'll save yourself time, you'll save yourself money messing around with self-help books, self-help tapes, I was one of these people that even went and saw a hypnotherapist, which helped for a few days. They're short-term solutions. Inner Awakening is something that will give you a life transformation, a flow-on effect into your family. You'll see your relationships become smoother, your life becomes sweeter, and I think every single person really on this planet, no matter how happy you feel that you might even be, like, yeah, no, it's okay, I'm okay with how I'm living. You don't know until you start looking in. And the way Swamiji has designed this program, the teachings that are there that make you understand how you think, why you think the way you think, why you harbor certain relationships, why you keep attracting certain things in your life again and again and again. Why is it that some people seem to just have everything they want, however they want, whenever they want, and I just can't have that? We can all have that. We are capable of having this. But without looking in and seeing why we behave in certain ways, it'll never be addressed. So I would like to extend a warm invite to everyone to please come and taste what Inner Awakening has to offer. come and experience your inner transformation, not by little bits at a time, but by a quantum leap, quantum transformation. When you come back, everyone will notice how much you've changed. Friends and family, for myself, I know they're always saying how fulfilled I am now. They can see it. There's a lightness, a buoyancy, a joy that's there that was never there before. So, and you can have that too. So thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions, comments, you can post that beneath and I'll be happy to reach out to you. Okay, thank you so much. I look forward to speaking to you again soon.